In a world where everybody is working out to make the ends meet, the young generation is looking forward to a good employment, a stable family, and of course a bright future. Many of course have not made it to achieve this goal. Reason being, mental illness has taken roots in the lives of many. And as per the statistics from the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights, out of 5 people, 2 are either stressed, depressed, or they are going through anxieties. Today, we are taking a keen look on the things that have transpired all this, the solution that can be brought on board to satisfy this, and of course, why mental awareness is vital in our lives. My name is Boniface Kioko, and this is Mental Awareness. Good morning, and welcome to today's morning show. My name is Boniface Kioko. This month, it brings us to one point, that mental awareness is vital, is key. It's important to each and every person. Today, we are not only having a guest, but we are having someone who is a good friend of mine. He's not only a trainer, he is also a pastor. He is also a student counselor at Mahanaim College. And allow me, please, to introduce him as a man of importance in this generation. Fassi.
Thank you very much, viewers. My name is Pastor Solomon. I'm a pastor to begin with, and I love being a pastor.
Yes.
If I was to be born again, I would still want to be a pastor.
Wow.
And also, I teach the Bible in the college.
Yes.
In our college, actually, when you come to learn in our college, also we introduce the Bible, because the Bible is what talks about the other world that people are ignorant of,
yes.
the world of the heart. Yes. So I'm very passionate about what we are going to talk about today.
Yes.
Thank you for inviting me.
Thank you for honoring our invitation.
Thank you.
So today I want us to speak of something
Yes.
that has been left aside for many days. And if you look keenly in the present days that we are living, it has caused more harm to this generation, because each and every person is trying to, to make the ends meet. Little do we know that as we do all this, our mind should be healthy. Our mind should be strong.
Yes.
And in this Mental Awareness Month, I'm prompted to ask you, what does it mean to you, mental awareness? What does it mean to you, and why is it important in our lives?
Actually, mental awareness is key.
Yeah.
You know, when you have information, you are better off than the person who does not have the information. And it is very important for the young people also to know that we have the world of the mind.
Yes.
And this is what carries our life.
Yeah.
So depending on what kind of mindset you have, or the mindset that you possess, that is also how your life is going to be. So to me, it's very key that people should have awareness on how their mind operates. Yes.
Now, if there is something that is alarming, is the current statistics from the Kenya National Commission of Human Rights. They are saying out of 5 people, 2 are either stressed, depressed, or they are going through anxieties.
Yes.
These statistics, they are being, the major group that is attributing to all this is the young generation.
True.
The young generation that looks forward to a bright future.
Yes.
What do you think might have been the cause of all this?
Yes, there is a reason, of course. The reason being, this young generation, the life that they are living is more convenient than the old folks. So the old folks, they were able to overcome many difficulties and challenges, and because of that, their mind is strong to overcome the challenges of life. But now, as life is becoming more convenient, there is a disadvantage also in that, because the minds of people become weaker. That's why even something that they can overcome, it becomes stressful to them. So because of that, now we are having many issues today. You know, when we are bringing up our children, we should not protect them from difficulties. Why? Because difficulties also play a part in our lives.
Building us.
Yes. Even when a child is growing up, the child is attacked by many diseases, and they grow the immune system. You understand? But now when it comes to the world of mind, the parents of today, they try to protect their children from all difficulties. They think this is love, but in one way or the other, this child is going to grow up as a weak person.
If there is something that is now creating, much of, worries to us as the young generation is, today you must be speaking to someone, a friend of yours. The person looks very well. The person looks strong in mind. The person is so jovial and interactive. In just a few days to come, you end up receiving sad news that the person maybe has engaged himself or herself in suicidal cases. And these are the things that have created, much of worries to us, because you cannot detect. Unless you pay keen attention to what's happening, you cannot notice. But now I'm eager to learn from you today, as a trainer and also as a counselor. What are the early signs that you can see from a person and truly detect that, this person might be going through something in mind? What are these early signs that you can see?
There are many signs, but mostly mood change. Mood change. If somebody was happy, and then after some time, you see this person is like distracted. When you see this kind of signs, it is showing you that there's something going on with this person. And the reason is this, because our young generation, they become emotional people. So they live with their emotions. They don't live with reasoning. They don't take time to reason and come up with solutions. They just react to situations which are there. That's why, it's very easy to use the young people in a wrong way. Why? Because they just react without thinking deeply, and that is what is making them to live the way they are living. But if there are people who take in something and then reason about it, then this is how you can overcome even living with your emotions. So somebody who is, their mood is keeping on changing, he's happy and then at some time again, he's distressed. So you realize this person is reacting to the emotions that he's having. Because they just react without thinking deeply, and that is what is making them to live the way they are living. But if there are people who take in something and then reason about it, then this is how you can overcome even living with your emotions. So somebody who is, their mood is keeping on changing, he's happy and then at some time again, he's distressed. So you realize this person is reacting to the emotions that he's having.
In psychology, they normally call it motivational amnesia, meaning that today it's a phenomenon whereby a person might be very active today, in a couple of days, the person is changing, there is a variety of changes in terms of the mood, in terms of the behavior also. And if I might ask you, does it add any benefit to us? And if not, is there a way we can control all this?
I don't think it adds anything, because as I said, we shouldn't be emotional people.
We should live in realities.
Yes, we should live with reality. And for you to live with reality, you have to be reasoning. So we need to learn how to overcome our emotions by reasoning. Okay? When you reason and you try to understand, for example, let me give you a story.
Yes.
I was coming out of a matatu.
Yes.
And then, these people who operate the matatu, the conductor, somebody wanted to drop at a certain stage. But when he stopped, other people entered in, and the moment they entered in, then the matatu took off. So, huyu jamaa akapitishwa kwa stage. You understand? Hakushuka. But now, when this thing happened, this person became very aggressive.
Yes.
You understand? So when he dropped out of the matatu, also the conductor he was affected by that. But now, I told him, you need to understand people nowadays. This is how people are living. Sometimes you need to understand. If you reason, anyway, when the matatu stopped, I should be the first person alighting. You understand? But I allowed people to come in, so the driver naturally will realize now, I don't need to pick another person, then they move. So without reasoning, then this person was very aggressive. So you realize this is just yani ni kama kutonesha kidonda. He had some issues, but now this is something that so because he's reacting like that, this is why you're saying somebody was okay now, and then he was triggered by something, and then he did something. But when you follow up this person, you realize the mind of this person has been hurt many times, but it was never treated. It's just like a wound. If you're hurt in the same place again and again and again, it becomes a disease. Yes. So many people are living like that. They were hurt once, they didn't solve that issue, and then another person came and hurt them again, like that. So in them, they have a wound, which is now becoming a disease. So when it is triggered by something small, then this person does something, you are surprised. Huyu mtu alifikaje kufanya kitu kama hii? Yes, but all along, yes, alikuwa na issues ambazo hazikuwa resolved.
Yes. Even as we wind up this pastor.
Yes.
So I like addressing you as a counselor because I'm still learning a lot from you.
It's okay, no problem.
What are the strategies that you, now as a counselor and as a trainer also, what are these things that you can train us from on here and even the people that you interact with so that we may, overcome all this?
The most important thing is to have conversation.
Conversation.
Even as we are having conversation right now.
Yes.
So, when somebody is stressed and they speak about what they are going through, then they are able to be advised. Or maybe, we talk of exchange for change. Yeah. So let's say you have some difficulties in your heart. You have despair in your heart. And in my heart, I'm filled with hope. So when we have conversation, we are actually exchanging. You talk of your despair, and I tell you of the hope which is in me. You understand? So now if you receive the words that I'm telling you, then you gain hope. So many people today are living without hope. Yeah. Why? Because now we are not having conversation because of the kind of lifestyle that we are living. Nowadays, if you get, for example, in a public matatu, everybody is on their phone, isn't it? So people are not having conversation. Yes. You go home, the family members who should be talking, they are already locked in their rooms. They are just conversing with their phones. Yeah. So they are living in the same house, but the mother does not know what the daughter is going through because there is no conversation. Yes. But a long time ago, people used to have conversation. Yes. And even when we close schools, we'll be taken to home, and then we are gathered, and then we talk with the uncles. They tell us about the wisdom of life. But we don't have these things nowadays. Yes. So we should reintroduce having conversation. And also opening up and talking about what we are going through. Yes. Because if you lock yourself in yourself, then you can just follow the way I'm saying, your emotion. When you're triggered by something, you just react. But if you talk to somebody, then somebody will try reason with you. Then when you receive the words of the other person, you're able to overcome that emotion. Yes. And then you don't react the way you are supposed to be reacting. Yes. So to cope up, we need to introduce a lot of conversation. Let's talk. Husband and wife, mother and daughter. Even teacher and student. We need to talk. We need to have conversation because it's very meaningful actually to talk. When you tell somebody something, they go and think about it, then they think, I think I was wrong in this aspect. Let me receive the advice of this person. And that's how we overcome all these issues.
I'm glad you've navigated it in a very well and profound way.
Yes.
But because of time, I think we should carry this on.
Yes,
I'm
we should.
Convinced that we will still bring you on board.
Thank you.
So that we may enlighten all that what we've discussed today.
Yes.
But as we wind up, maybe in less than 30 seconds.
Yes.
30 seconds.
Yes.
Because I can see my producer is directing me. Otherwise, you can say your parting shot through this lens.
My parting shots are this. As we live, we have to know we have the world of the heart. And when we neglect this world of the heart, then we are having many issues. Yes. So the heart is hidden. We can't see it. But we can open up our hearts by talking and having conversation. So somebody who opens up and talks, it means they have opened their heart. And people who are not talking and closing their heart means they are closing their heart. Yes. And this is what actually is becoming a problem. It's like a house which is locked. Of course, when you enter into such kind of a house, then you realize there's a stench, isn't it? Yeah. But the house where you open doors and people come in, this house is alive. So for us to be alive, we need to open up and talk and have conversation. Yeah. Thank you very much.
Thank you for joining us today. And I hope that this conversation has not just been engaging, it has been profitable to our lives. Yeah. And I truly believe that next time we'll be having a trainer back and also our counselor back, we shall have advanced when it comes to our mindset training so that we may advocate for this thing of mental illness, so that we transition from the lives that we live, the life of comfort zone, but we advance to the life of overcoming challenges and not just avoiding them. My name is Boniface Kioko. See you next time.
Asante Bonke. Thank you.
Asante.
Asante.